Hey there, John Morris here, johnmorrisonline.com, and welcome to another video in the Facebook marketing series. Now in this video, I'm going to talk about what should I post to my Facebook page. This is by far the number one problem that I see people have is they've created their page, they've set it all up, but they have no idea what to post to it on a regular basis. And they do one of two things. Either they post the wrong things and alienate their audience and their page dies, or they don't post at all and so they don't get any of the engagement and their page dies. So in this video, I'm going to talk specifically about the strategies that you'll want to implement so that you have kind of a big picture understanding of what it is that you need to do. And then we'll dive into some of the tactics that you can use to post things that actually create engagement and ultimately sales on your Facebook posts. All right, so be sure to stay tuned for the episode. Now, this tutorial is sponsored by the Complete Facebook Ads and Facebook Marketing course by Jerry Banfield over on udemy.com. Now, the reason I recommend this course is because Jerry Banfield is a well-respected Facebook expert who has over 1 million likes of his Facebook page, and as he shows in a number of his videos, he's spent as little as 1 to 3 cents per like getting those likes. So in this course, he's going to take you behind the scenes of what he did to get those 1 million likes, what he does in order to get that 1 to 3 cents per like rate. And as you can see here, he has a very comprehensive 136 lesson course that's going to show you everything that you need to know to master Facebook marketing. Now, in order to access this course, you'll see a link down below this video that's going to give you the best price on this course. So go ahead and click that link to learn more about this course and to get the best price available. All right, now onto this tutorial. All right, so let's start by kind of helping you to understand the context in which you're posting. So the thing that you have to understand is that most people, after the initial like that they make on your page, will never visit your page again. So they'll never go to the actual page. What will happen instead is the things that you post will show up in their news feed, and they will or won't click on them, or they'll see them and interact with them and so forth. So what's most important is what you're posting and the context within which it's posted. People aren't going to go to your page and just read through it. That's not how it works. Now, yes, some people will, that 5 or 10%, a few people will do that, but most people are not going to do that. They're simply going to see what you post in their newsfeed. It's just like your regular personal profile. How often do you actually go to someone else's page, their actual profile, and read through everything that they've posted? It's very rare. Instead, what you do is you log into Facebook, and the news feed is the home page, and you just scroll through and see what people have posted, and you interact with it. Every once in a while, you might click through to somebody's profile if you're looking through something, or you just want to check in on somebody or something along those lines. But most of the time, you just view it in your feed. So you have to understand that when you post on your page, that's where people are going to see what you're posting, and that it exists within a certain context. So this is where I think people make a mistake, is because they get too worried about what they're posting on their Facebook page. They get too concerned because they view it as people coming to that page and seeing all these posts, when in reality they're seeing what you post in a stream with everything else that everybody they know is posting. And so a good way to kind of get a feel for this is just go to your own news feed and look at the things that people are actually posting and you're seeing in your feed. Now, I'm going to run through mine, and I think you'll get the point by the time I'm done. But it's even better if you go look at your feed and see the things that people are posting. All right, so here I made a list of the exact items that were on my feed just right before I started recording this. And so I'm going to run through these. All right, so the first one was one of my cousins who wrote, it was a text post, and they were telling a story. He was telling a story about socks and something related to his mom and about how he said he never had socks and now he has a bunch of socks. I didn't really follow the story, but you can kind of get the point. So that was the first thing that was in my feed. Next was an ad from some company that a friend of mine had liked that page, and so then they showed me their ad. So it was an ad for healthy snacks. Wasn't really relevant to me. It was just because a friend of mine had liked that page. Next was this one's kind of sad, but it was a daughter who was posting to her father who had passed away. He passed away like a year or two ago. He was posting to her. She was posting to his page that, obviously hasn't been deleted, and asking him to just come back. So that's very sad, obviously, but that was the third thing that was in my stream. The fourth thing was a friend of mine who happens to be a Marine and was posting this picture of like the U.S. flag and her rank kind of superimposed over top of it. So it was kind of this patriotic picture. The next thing was a friend just talking about how they had an amazing day and they were on their way to pick up their kid and they were really happy. The next one was a friend's wedding photos, and they were old wedding photos, so I'm not exactly sure why they showed up in the feed, but that's what was next. Next was a business acquaintance of mine that I had friended on Facebook who was posting about ugly web designs and kind of making a joke about it or whatever. And the last thing then that I wrote down was a friend who had gone to Kansas City to meet the Chiefs players, and they were posting pictures, and it was him and his wife posing with different players and so forth. All right, so those are the items that were on my feed. Now, that's the context in which your posts are going to show up. And if you go look at your newsfeed, I'm going to imagine you're going to see some similar things there. So when people are scrolling through, these are the kinds of things that they're seeing. Now, I can tell you which one of these things stuck out like a sore thumb, and I scrolled past it very quickly, almost didn't even see it. And that was the ad for the healthy snacks. So the reason I bring this up is if the things that you're posting to your page don't look like everything else and don't feel like everything else, they will quickly get ignored. And people will scroll right by them. People don't come on Facebook to read your ads. They don't come on Facebook to see you sell your services. Okay? So they come on Facebook to interact with their friends and family, to see what people they know are doing, to be entertained and so forth. So if your stuff doesn't look like everything else in the feed, then they're just going to skip right by it. It also should give you a sense that it's okay to post things that are informal on your business page. Just because it's a business page doesn't mean that everything on there has to be formal. In fact, the more informal it is, the better, because it's going to look like everything else, because everything else in their feed is from friends and family and is informal. All right? So go look at your feed and get a feel for what's in there, and that should start to give you an idea of the kind of things that you should be posting. All right, so here's the strategy. The strategy is to get personal. Most people are far too formal in their business pages to have any kind of success on Facebook. People, again, are not on Facebook for formal. All right, so the first kind of concept here is people don't want to buy from a logo. They don't care about your logo. They don't want to buy from a company. They want to buy from a person. They want to connect with you on a personal level, and that's what Facebook is all about, is connecting on a personal level. So that's what you need to do more of in your posts. Now, again, I've listed some statistics here that kind of back this up. So there's a bunch of different surveys that have been done on customer service and businesses interacting with their customers and so forth. And so some of the ones that stuck out to me, 67% of customers have hung up on the phone because they couldn't get in contact with a real person. So what that tells you is that people want to talk to other people. They don't want to talk to a company. They don't want to talk to a machine. They want to talk to and interact with a person. So the posts that you're making on Facebook should be in that vein. They should be you as a human being. Next, 40% listed better human service as the top improvement that they desired from the companies that they interact with, which was 2 times the next closest one. So the next closest option that was available had 20%. So far and away, people wanted better human service. So again, they wanted to interact with human beings. And then the last one is 58% of Americans research products and services online before buying. So people are going online and they're researching, and when they do that research, they want to find human beings that they can interact with and contact, and those are the people that they're ultimately going to buy from. People buy from other people. They don't buy from logos. All right. Next kind of concept is what you're ultimately trying to do in your social media, and specifically Facebook, is eliminate the social barriers to entry. Now, the idea here is that anytime someone sees your business or what you do, there are a number of social roadblocks that stop them from contacting you. And you want to use your social media presence to eliminate those roadblocks because, again, people ultimately buy from people that they know, they like, and they trust. And you have to actively build the know, the like, and the trust. You have to get them to know you, like you, and ultimately trust you like they would a friend. So what you want is you want people on social media that you interact with in your page to ultimately see you like they see all their other friends on Facebook. So you're not a business page on Facebook. You're just another one of their friends on Facebook. You just happen to be doing it via a business page. And every now and again, you're going to ask them to pay to come visit your business. All right, so again, you want to eliminate those social barriers. The example I like to use is I met a gentleman the other day who's an insurance agent, and I had insurance on my mind. I had recently upped my coverage for my auto insurance because I had learned some things about my coverage and how bad it was from a disinterested third party. And so I upped my coverage. I just bought a house, and the insurance seemed a little expensive, so I was looking at maybe some other options for my home insurance. I also know that I need to get some life insurance. I also am looking to get umbrella insurance because I don't currently have that right now. And so I had met this gentleman, and it wasn't in a business setting or a transaction. I didn't go to his office to ask about his services. I just happened to meet him and learn that he did insurance. And so in my head, I was thinking, well, maybe I should, get in touch with this guy and see if he can help me with the things I'm thinking about insurance-wise. But I never did. And there are reasons why I didn't. First off, I don't really know the guy. I've met him once. Seemed like a nice guy. The people that he is associating with, I maybe knew a little bit better. And so he had some credibility that way, but I really don't know him outside of that. I start to think about, okay, well, maybe I should call him up. That would be kind of an awkward phone call because I really don't know anything about him. Going to his office, that would be kind of awkward because, I have to look it up. I don't know where it is. Then I, have to deal with going in, and I've never seen the office. I don't know any of the people that work there. And so all of those unknowns create social anxiety, okay? And all of us have it about all sorts of different things. And what you need to do as a business owner to get people to contact you is eliminate those things. And so that's why we're going to talk about some of the things that you're going to post, but people should know who your staff is. They should know what your office looks like. They should have seen, you should have your location for your business on your page, so people have likely seen the map to your place, and so they have an idea of where it is. You should post things that allow them to get to know you better as a human being, not just work-related stuff, but maybe you're a big fan of the local sports team, and you go to the games, and they're a big fan too, and so now you can relate on that level. You need to eliminate all of those social anxiety roadblocks that stop people from contacting you and keep them just doing what they've been doing. Because ultimately, that's what I did. I just kept doing what I was doing. I didn't contact anybody. And this person had an opportunity to get my business had I been able to, get on their page. And it really wasn't necessarily their fault because they weren't trying to sell me their services or whatever. And, there's some leeway there, but, that was an opportunity that was missed had those roadblocks been overcome. And so that's what you need to do as a business owner. You need to attract your prospects to you and then help them overcome those social roadblocks so that they can ultimately get over that anxiety to come see you about what you do when it's relevant to them. And so ultimately, that's what social media is. Social media, if you're doing social media right, you should really never have to pitch your services, because you should be attracting the right kind of people to you and talking to them in a way that when the need arises, they should just naturally come to you. All right, so let's talk a little bit about how to do this. So again, one of the first things to understand is, why are people on Facebook? And the reason people are on Facebook is they're keeping up with their friends and family. They're looking for entertainment, and to a lesser degree, they're looking for news and info. So if we were to say all those things succinctly, we would say social, we would say entertainment, and we would say utility, and in that order. The thing they're on Facebook for the most is social interaction. Next, and to a lesser degree, is entertainment. And then last, and to the least degree, is utility. And one of the ways that you can kind of get an insight into this is to just open up your smartphone and take a look at what you have on your home screen. Now, I have a picture of one here, but you can open up yours and take a look and test whether this rings true. But the apps that you have on your home screen, again, this is kind of a window into your life, because the apps you put on your home screen are the things that you want access to quickest and the things that you use the most. And so if you look at those things, this gives you an idea of what is on the top of your mind on a regular basis. And if you look at them, you'll notice that they fall into these three categories: social, entertainment, and utility. Now, I want to make sure I give credit where credit is due. I'm not the one who first noticed this. A guy by the name of Gary Vaynerchuk, who's a well-known social media expert, is the one who first identified this. And so I'm ultimately relaying his idea, but it's very relevant here and something that you really want to understand. So again, take a look at your phone and look at the different apps that you have. Now, going off of the apps that we can see on the screen here, you can see that we have Google+, we have Gmail, we have Google Talk, we have WhatsApp, we have Skype, we have our phone to make phone calls, and we have our contacts. Now, if you look at all of those things are ultimately social apps. They're about social engagement, allowing us to interact and connect with other people. So of the 11 apps that are on this home page that you can actually use, 7 of them are all about social. And that's probably about a relevant percentage of what people interact with technology and on social media for. Now, if you look at some of the other apps, you have the Play Store, you have the camera, you have Dropbox, you have the internet, and then you have the More Apps screen. So most of those, then the internet's kind of ambiguous because you could use it for utility or for social or for entertainment. But most of those then are for utility. Also, if you look at the widgets that are on this screen, you'll see that there's a time and date widget. You also see that there's a weather widget. Again, these are all utility and information type apps. Now, the one thing that's missing from this particular page that's probably on a lot of people's home screen is entertainment. Things like YouTube and Netflix or Hulu. Those kinds of apps are all entertainment type apps, and you'll find those on a lot of people's home screens. So again, if you look at your home screen, you can get a window into the things that are important to you, and you'll find that most often they fall into these categories: social, entertainment, and utility. And so that's also why people are on Facebook, and in that order. They want social interaction, they want entertainment, and last, they want utility. Now, this is an important distinction. This is one that took me a while to figure out, because I came from a YouTube background where people that are on YouTube are there for primarily entertainment and secondarily utility, and social is probably the last on that list. And so I was used to being able to post a lot of utility type information, exactly like this video I'm posting now, and get the kind of engagement that I was looking for. But on social, when I tried to transfer that over to Facebook, it didn't work as well, and I didn't understand why at first. And that's because utility is the last thing people are looking for on Facebook. If they see something that really stands out to them, then they may click through to it. And I obviously get people who watch my videos and look at my posts over there, but more than anything, they're there for social engagement and entertainment. And so I've moved into posting things that are more along those lines and have started getting better engagement as a result of that. So why are people on Facebook? Ultimately for social interaction, a little bit of entertainment, and then very little or some utility. All right, so what to post? This is kind of my formula that I would use for posting, or that I use for posting. So the first one, the biggest chunk on here is for social, and roughly 70 to 80% of your posts should be social type posts. So what kind of things can you do? What are people going to be interested in? Well, if you work in an office, take pictures with you and your coworkers. Chances are you do things that are interesting to people, right? Think of it as if you were a family member of the person that liked your page, right? What are the kinds of things that a family member would be interested in? Or for you, what are the kinds of things that you're interested in from your family members, right? So pictures at the office with coworkers, or maybe a funny story, something that happened at work or just in your life, or maybe you had a moment of inspiration. You could share that, or maybe a moment of insight where you realize something you hadn't learned before. Or maybe it's a moment of sadness, that something that's happened that you're sad about. Or maybe it's a rant, right? Maybe it's something that you're emotional or angry about. Those are the kind of things that you want to post, because they're the same kind of things that you would post on your personal profile. And ultimately, that's the insight. You really want to post things that are similar to what you'd post on your personal profile, because that's what everybody else in the people who are liked your page, that's what everybody else that they're following is posting. They're posting on their personal profile. So you want to post similar to the kind of stuff that you would post on your personal profile. Now, here's where I need to make a clear distinction about what I'm saying. I'm not saying you post the exact same stuff you post on your personal profile. And I'm not saying you have to, because you may not want to post pictures of, say, your kids on your business page. Or there may be things that make sense for your friends and family that are maybe a little more controversial that don't make sense for your business. That's completely fine. I'm not saying you have to post those things, but it should be similar type things. So it's related to your business, but it's more on that personal level. So again, coworkers, or if you go out to eat, take a picture of your food for lunch, just like everybody else does. The thing to understand with social media, you're not trying to get every post to go viral. Instead, you're playing a long game and looking for small gains, and ultimately just keeping in contact and keeping engaged with people and setting them up for later on when you're going to make the ask. Next should be entertainment. It should be about 20% of what you're posting. So funny videos, stories that happen, funny stories, or stuff at work. Entertainment doesn't also have to be all humor. It could be sad things, right? Again, those kind of things emotionally engage people. When I say entertainment, what I really mean is things that engage people emotionally. So it could be sad things that happen. It could be a rant, because people love drama, right? So that can be entertaining to people. Those are the kinds of entertainment things that you want to post. And then last but not least is the utility and informational stuff. And so this is helpful and relevant info. This is where you really get to kind of set yourself apart or make yourself a thought expert and orient your page towards what you do business-wise. By every now and again posting some sort of information that is relevant to the work that you do. And that's what helps people to remember, oh yeah, this guy's an insurance agent, or this lady is a realtor, or whatever it is that you do. And so helpful and relevant info, relevant tools, and very, very sparingly your actual pitches. And so we'll talk about a little bit later how to handle your pitches, but those should be the least thing that you post. Whereas I see a lot of people's pages, that's all they post is their pitches, and then wonder why they get no traction. All right. So that's kind of the formula that I would use. Obviously, these percentages aren't set in stone, but that gives you a rough idea of the kind of things that you want to post and what kind of volume you want to post them in. All right. So then to kind of polish this all off, the overall strategy then here, because I can understand, you might be sitting there going, okay, that's all great and fine and well, and I see that's going to work, but how's that going to help me sell stuff? And so this idea, again, Gary Vaynerchuk, who's a well-known social media expert, you may have even seen some of this stuff, is the concept of jab, 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 right hook, which is give, 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 and then ask. People are not going to continue to follow your page or interact with your page if all you do is put up sales pitches. People don't want to read ads. They don't want to see your sales pitches. Now, that doesn't mean you don't pitch them. It just means you have to understand that when you do, it doesn't matter how good of a relationship you've created, there will be some people who are immediately annoyed by it. And so if you want to grow your page long-term, have long-term engagement, you need to do that sparingly, and you need to do it when it's set up. And so all of this personal stuff and this entertainment stuff and the info stuff that we're talking about is ultimately setting them up for the big right hook, which is the pitch. And so again, you have to be attracting the right people who are interested in what you do work-wise, but then you give them a lot of personal stuff. You tell your story, you let them get to know you, you're setting them up. If you think of boxing, you're kind of throwing that jab, you're just kind of putting it out there, but the whole time you have your right hand back behind you waiting to, once you throw that jab, and you can see they're set up to slam that right hook home. Right? So there's no set amount of time or number of jabs. It's really, you need to read your audience and get a feel for when you feel like they're set up, and then that's when you can swing that right hook. So that's the idea here. All of this social stuff isn't pointless. What it is setting them up for the pitch. And then when you make your pitch, making a relevant, powerful pitch that plays on or exploits all of the social credit that you've earned up to that point with all of your social posts and your entertainment posts. All right, so again, give, and then ask. I would say for most people, the most you would want to do your ask is once a month. It may even be less than that, depending on your industry. But what I see most people doing is ask every post every day, and then maybe every once in a while they throw in a social post or entertainment post, right? It should be the opposite. You should be doing a ton of the social, a ton of the entertainment, a ton of the informational, and then every once in a while, when you feel like they're set up, go for the ask. All right, so that's the strategy. Jab, 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 right hook. Again, not mine. That's Gary Vaynerchuk, but that gives you some insight. Maybe hearing it from someone else, if you've heard this before, will help you hit home for you a little bit better. All right, so to recap, people buy from people. Okay, they don't buy from logos. They don't buy from people who are just pitch robots and just pitch all the time. So in order to portray yourself as a person, you have to get personal. And it's all in the vein or the strategy of give to ultimately set up for the ask. All right, that does it for this video. Now, if you'd like to get all the slides and downloads for this course, then you can head on over to johnmorrisonline.com/Facebook pages. You can get access to those. And if you like this video, be sure to like it. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can get access to all the latest tutorials. Again, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you in the next video.